Well, hello everyone. This week I've been out of office as a part of my annual summer study break, and we've been at my family's lake house on the Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. In fact, this week, 21 years ago, on July 9th, 1999, was the day I received my call into full-time ministry at the very place where I'm recording this video, on a hillside looking over the Lake of the Ozarks. And now there's a new worship center that's built, and that's where I'm at right now. Back then there was an old open-air tabernacle building where I received my call into ministry. And so every year this is sort of an annual pilgrimage for me of where it all began in the first place. I was a counselor at this church camp 21 years ago when God directed my path towards full-time ministry. And throughout the years, I've said to God, you got me into this, and I'm counting on you to see me through it. And over the years, there's been some incredible experiences of seeing lives changed and ministries thrive. There's also been some challenging times. However, 21 years ago, when I said yes to God calling me into ministry on this hillside, I had no idea that we would face the challenges we have the past few months. I cannot recall a 4-month period with as many challenges in church leadership as the past 4 months, between COVID-19, the racial tensions, and some sudden losses and struggles of individuals and families within our church that haven't been related to COVID or the racial tensions. It's just been a very heavy season. One of my mentors says that in a crisis, make sure you keep relationships strong. In other words, sometimes it's hard to gain ground as a church or an organization through a storm, but keep relationships strong so that after the storm, you can keep on building. I think that's a really good word for us as a church. There's a lot of challenges to navigate, and there's a lot of opinions on how it should be navigated. In fact, as it relates to COVID-19 pandemic, have we done everything perfectly as a church? Probably not, but only time will tell. That's part of what makes it a challenge. Even the experts don't agree on what should happen. Within our church, there have been passionate, educated people communicate their perspective, and just within our church, the perspective of passionate, educated people has been vastly different. There's a broad spectrum of opinions and perspectives, all from good and godly people. This is certainly a case of what is good for my family and true about my family may not be true for a church of 2,400 people representing hundreds of families in different circumstances and different perspectives. I think we need to keep in mind as we go through the storm that one of our highest priorities ought to be keep relationships strong. As a church, we will make it. Today I heard a family who started attending Salem online throughout the pandemic, and now one of the parents wants to get baptized. God is still faithful to His word, and as a church, by God's grace, we will make it through the storm. The goal, though, is to continue to love God and love each other well through the storm. In the meantime, this weekend we're going to gather together to turn our hearts and our minds towards God. Some are going to be gathering online, some are going to be gathering in person. If you gather together in person, we're requesting that everyone wears a face mask. While it's highly encouraged to wear a face mask, if you're uncomfortable attending or unable to attend, the online campus is available. If you have a compromised immune system or are sick, it's highly encouraged for you to participate through the online service until the social restrictions are eased by the government. The Reentry Task Force is monitoring the situation and is committed to making timely decisions that serve the best for the whole so that people stay up to date with all the COVID-19 updates through the website salem.church. I want to close with the words to a song that I remember my dad singing at church when I was a kid, and the lyrics are hanging in the wall on a wall here in our family's lake cabin. The song is titled "Through It All," and part of the lyrics say simply this: I thank God for the mountains, and I thank Him for the valleys. I thank Him for the storms He brought me through. For if I never had a problem, I would not know that He could solve them. I'd never know what faith in God could do. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His Word. Salem Church, I love you. Thank you for being the church. Let's continue to love God and love others well. See you soon.